Okay, guys, for writing, we've been working on doing some research, and I don't want to start anything new. As we left off for spring break, we'd been doing some research. I want to continue to do that. So today, your homework assignment for writing is to go down to Google. Okay, you go down to Google Chrome, and you're going to open up your browser. Now, we have talked about doing two things. We've talked about Kid Rex. So I'm just going to do a Google search, and then I'm going to type in Kid Rex. Okay, and again, these are search engines that are kid friendly. So I ask you to either search Kid Rex, and this is what Kid Rex looks like, or you could go to kiddle.co. So I'm going to go www.kiddle.co, and I'm going to show it to you right there. Okay, it's kiddle.co. It's having a hard time focusing. There it is, kiddle.co, and then hit enter. So you have Kiddle, and you have Kid Rex. Kid Rex, Kiddrex. Kiddle, Kiddle. These are both kid-friendly search engines. Once you have either looked at kiddle.co or kidrex.org, what I want you to do is I want you to pick a state. You've got 50 states. I want you to pick a state, any state that you desire, get on Google Slides or Google Docs, either one, share it with me, Mr. Elliott. You'll put Roger Elliott and you should find me. Share it with me, and you're going to write 5 to 10 facts about the state that you've chosen. If you pick Google Slides, your first slide is going to be the name of your state that you choose. For example, if I was to choose Indiana, my first slide would be Indiana. And then you can do a grocery list or however you want to do it and just list 5 facts or 10 facts about the state that you have picked. Again, pick one of the 50 states, present it to me by sharing it through Google Slides or Google Docs, and just write down 5 to 10 facts that you learned from researching and looking up your particular state. For math today, we're going to be looking at Module 7, Lesson 1. And what that is looking at data and categorizing data into different graphs and using tallies and able to look at charts. And just this whole lesson is going to add up to or build up to using data and then being able to graph it, and then eventually we're going to lead into money as the weeks progress. So first off, before we even get started, I've got an application problem, a word problem that we're going to take a few moments and we're going to read it. I'm going to just kind of pause for a little bit and let you guys kind of work it out, and then after we work it out, then I'll show a couple different strategies that we could get to this answer. So my application problem, it's up here on the whiteboard. I'll zoom in if I can. The application problem says, there are 24 penguins sliding on the ice. There are 18 whales splashing in the ocean. How many more penguins than whales are there? The first thing that we got to do as we look in this problem is we have to think, what are we looking at? Are we looking at comparing by adding to or comparing by taking away? So the first thing I always say to do is we want to know what is our question asking. I underline our question. How many more penguins than whales are there? Therefore, I know based off of them saying penguins and whales, how many more is kind of key information for me. And I am comparing penguins to whales. I'm going to go back up to the first couple sentences and I'm going to find the key information, the key details that I feel like are very important for me. There are 24 penguins sliding on the ice. It's important that I know how many penguins because the question down here is asking for penguins. 24 penguins. Now penguins are on the ice where whales are splashing in the ocean. I need to know how many wells there are. It says there are 18 wells splashing. I'm going to go back and I'm going to reread this problem now that I have the information, the key information boxed in, and the question underlined. There are 24 penguins sliding on the ice. There are 18 whales splashing in the ocean. How many more penguins than whales are there? So I'm going to compare penguins to whales. I know that there's 24 penguins, and I know that there's 18 whales. I know that this question is not asking me to put them together. It is not asking me to add. It is asking me to take away, or to find what we call an answer to a subtraction problem, the difference. As you can see, I have two marker boards, and I have written the problem 3 different ways. Although on this marker board, 24 minus 18 and 24 minus 18 looks the same. Although I am going to solve it 2 different ways. You can see the first marker board looks like the traditional vertical way that you probably as a parent have been taught. My students have been taught this as well. So as I uncap this marker, okay, I'm going to start with problem that is on the marker board 24 minus 18. We look at our ones place and we know that 4 minus 8, we cannot take that because that top number is smaller than the bottom number. In order to make that ones place able to subtract, I've got to borrow from the tens place. So I'm going to come over here in the tens. I'm going to take a 10 and bring it over to the ones. Makes that 4 or 14, and the 2 becomes a 1. And now I'm able to subtract. 14 minus 8 is 6, and 1 minus 1 is 0. Because this is a word problem, we need to attach a label. We are comparing penguins to whales. Therefore, the question says, how many more penguins than whales are there? There are 6 penguins more. So I'm going to write 6 penguins. And that is just one way that we could do that. However, another way that we can do this is by taking out a 10. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 24 minus 18. I start with the smaller number. I'm going to take out a 10, and that's going to leave me with 8. So then the next step I'm going to do is 24 minus 10. 24 minus 10 is 14. And now I have got rid of that, got rid of that, and got rid of that. So I'm going to look at this 14 with what I have left over, which is 8. 14 minus 8, and 14 minus 8 is 6. So there are 6 more penguins. Now, this is doing it by a number bond way. Another strategy that we have used and been talking about is the arrow way. An arrow way, 24, okay, we take out a 10 minus 10 gets me to 14. Now, because I have already taken out a 10, I have 8 left. And I am going to take away 4 minus 4. 14 minus 4 is 10. Now, I've done 10 and 4, which is 14, and I've got 4 left because I took 18 minus 10, left me with 8. 8 minus 4 leaves me with 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 10 minus 4. 10 minus 4 is going to get me 6, and I get the answer 6 penguins. Again, I've showed this 3 ways. Each way is a strategy. I've done the traditional vertical way with borrowing. I've done one method where I find a number bond. 24 minus 10 is 14. 14 minus 8 is 6. Get 6 penguins. Or I do the arrow way. Either strategy ends up with the same answer. 6 penguins, 6 penguins, 6 penguins. I do not care which way or what strategy works best for you, as long as you are able to do one of these strategies and to get the correct answer. Again, whatever strategy works the best for you, you should come up with the answer 6 penguins.